Today I'm just gonna draw some heads, kind of get the, I don't really like doing outlines. I know it's helpful, and eventually you'll be able to draw them without outlines, but I'm just gonna kind of, oh shit. I guess guides is what I'm talking about, not so much outlines, but I think a good way to start drawing is to copy. And let's say if you still aren't very good and you want to get an idea on how to draw shapes or bodies or anatomy and not quite studying, I would say maybe getting a piece of paper and just putting it over maybe any style of art you like, and then just to outline it. And this will kind of teach your hand to get used to the actions of drawing. I think we put too much stress on ourselves because people talk about plagiarizing or whatnot, and yeah, plagiarizing's wrong. But a lot of times when you look at least when I look at some of my drawings from back in the day, I see that there's an image I really liked, and I didn't think, oh, well, I better not copy this or take pieces of this I like. And I just drew. And so it may have been a character or something like that that could fit inside the story of something else. Like, I don't know. I remember Digimon was my thing for a long time growing up. And so I look at a lot of my drawings and they were the same, kind of very similar. They could very much exist in the same realm of Digimon. And then, as you get older and people, oh, well, you copied that, or this looks like that. And it might start getting at you like, oh, well, maybe I need to make my art a little different. You will build an art style throughout time. No doubt about it. It's just, if you enjoy it, that's what you should do. And let's say if you do, copy something, give credit to where the artist, whoever initially did it. And if you don't know, then people I know will definitely find out, because it's like people are on watch trying to find out who's copying what, who's plagiarizing what, which is good in an extent, but then it's like some people just want to ruin other people just because, I don't know, it's their life goal or something. And these are just, simple drawings. I can definitely, and see, I go judging myself. I could draw better than this, but I'm just kind of putting something out there. That's the other thing. I've been thinking about doing YouTube for a long time, and then I was on and off and putting in videos, and I'm like, this isn't for me. But I think when you get past that part of, because maybe it's a little difficult to kind of learn how to set up the cameras or anything like that. Now I'm using an iPhone and simple enough. And now I'm not really being concerned about, well, are my drawings really good enough to be put out there? And the truth is, just put it out there, because otherwise you'll never do it. And the more you put it out there, more you'll get better, whether it's doing a setup or whether it's doing anything else along those lines, even just the art that you want to put out there. And the art doesn't have to be specifically drawing, but it can be, I don't know, maybe music, maybe crafting something, maybe even talking, just in general. And then you'll get better at speaking. So I just think that we put too much stress on ourselves for no reason. And we doubt ourselves too much as well. So that's something that this is to help you get out of. Normally, it's the way you conquer something that's difficult or a fear is to just do it. And the older I've gotten, the more I see. I look back and I had no things holding me back so much. It's like if someone said I couldn't do it, I'd be like, well, I'll give it a shot anyways. And it wasn't to prove anyone wrong or prove myself right or to prove that I can do it. It's just to do it, basically. So I think that if there's anything that anyone, whoever watches this, thinks, hey, I always wanted to do this, you know, I don't know what it could be, you know, maybe I've always wanted to lift weights or rock climb or travel, whatever it is. And these are similar enough things for me, myself, but see, this is off right here, but I think we should go for those things that we really want to. And you only get better by doing it more. And at times it may seem like you're not improving, but then you should take a step back and see where were you at when you were doing, when you first started. And sometimes in drawing more detail is great, but doing more sometimes makes it look worse. I guess if you don't know how to do it, at least. I'm pretty big into anime, and then I see how some of these drawings are just so simple and clean. They have enough detail to show you what it is, but it's not overcomplicated. And it's just, like, I don't know if anyone's watched Soul Eater or anything like that. Plenty of detail, but then it's very simplistic at the same time. And that's the other thing where I've mixed styles where it seems to make it more difficult to do certain things because like, let's say for hair, I have difficulty drawing hair now when I used to just do basic anime hair. And that was simple. But sometimes, let's say you drew a more realistic face and then it comes out like, I don't know, something like that, like anime hairish. It kind of looks, that's real sloppy, but you know, the gist is that. And that I can already tell is slightly off. But if anything, these YouTube videos are for me to improve on myself, maybe in hope that, and I guess inspire others to kind of push for what they want to do as well. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. There's always room to improve. Like, let's say, for instance, there's for the longest time, you would see anime, they have the nose like this. And maybe you don't watch anime, it's just hard. Something like that. That's supposed to be like the nostril side. It's enough to let you know what it is. And then, you know, the smile or something like that. And the more they get detailed, you do stuff that are, they kind of do a skip a beat here, just because it's like where the lip may connect, and sometimes if you look at someone's face, it looks similar enough to that. And then the nose, this is one I've been trying to practice more. Well, they'll do kind of like a hoop or a little loop right there. And maybe a line here, kind of show something like that. And I know Disney people, they seem to do like a little block here. So I've been testing those out. And trying to get something down a little more, you know, you're constantly trying to, I wouldn't say trying to find a style, but what fits the way you draw best. Like I know some people, they don't even, the eye is so close here, some people don't draw that much. Sometimes it'll be more inner. And then something like that. And these are a little more realistic where you can definitely have some people will draw eyes, the anime eye. This eraser. This eraser is good on certain types of paper. I really like it. But for some reason, I'm drawing on the Strathmore 400 series right now. And it's leaving these marks. So that's kind of crappy. Well, that's good for me to know. So I guess you can't do certain types of erasings or too much erasings. But then you have like the old style anime eye, and then something like that. And then you have that little shiny part that happens there. You got the pupil. Here you got this pupil. And then that as well, something along those lines. Then you normally do an indentation because that's where like the eyelid is. So a lot of people emphasize that. And the brow, it just depends on however you decide to draw a brow. It can even just be a simple curve. And then here, it just depends on also what type of character you're trying to draw. Let's say this turns into a female. There's a little hoop right here. This part connects to the nostril. And then you can kind of get that going there. A lip. And if you want, you can also kind of make the connection here. But not connect them together, but enough to make it look like that. Me, I normally just, this part of the ear, this is also, you can do that if you want, or simple enough, just, I remember I used to draw like an S type of shape for the ears. And then you got the neck. Female necks are a little more slender. I always recommend looking at pictures. It doesn't even have to be real life people, but if it was a style, let's say you want to draw anime, Disney, anything like that, look at those type of styles and look how they draw their characters. And then you can base it off of that. Remember, art doesn't have to be 100% like accurate. I mean, if you want to draw it realistic, then there's that. And people will critique and pick on things that it doesn't even matter. It depends on your style. It depends on what you're doing. And let's say, so I'm going to try to draw a hairline. So this is forehead. So some people do have shorter foreheads. But I'm going to go ahead and raise it up a little bit. And I say just kind of do something like this. Kind of directions the hair may go. Again, other people have probably way better tutorials than this. This isn't so much a tutorial. I guess saying how I do some things, how you could do things as well. I don't know how. We're going to go ahead and do a bun or something like that. I really need to look into hairstyles a little more. Again, when it was anime stuff, it was simple. You could just do a spike here, a spike there, something like that. Sometimes you want to connect it to things like jaggedness. See, this doesn't really make sense how this is flowing at all. But, and then you could kind of fill in that part right there. Something along those lines. And let's say if it was a bun, we'll probably do that. Something along those lines. But let's do quick anime type. And I know some people, they try to make everything look perfect, and that's fine if they do that. It's just a lot of drawings you see are, they take hours for a lot of people to do, or 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something along those lines. Oh, just simple, sorry. Simple enough, little anime style. And normally the eyes, they match up with the ears here. And same with the nostrils, they kind of get down here. I'll do something more like that. Something along those lines. These eyes look a little lifeless, don't they? I think that's why sometimes they put those lights right there. Something along those lines. This was something pretty quick. Alright, I say quick, it's probably almost 20 minutes now, but yeah. Kind of get an idea on some of this stuff. Let's see real quick. I'm gonna try to do the guide like people do. We'll go ahead and do something like that. They normally draw this down here for a jawline. And then you connect up here. Ear goes in this little indented area. I think they say the nose this way. So far that's what we got. We'll do something like that. Mouth. Eyes should go up here. Make sure the eyes face the same direction, so it's gonna come out like that a little bit. Maybe this needs to go in a little more. Eyebrows. Let's see. some. We'll part the hair here. Bring that right. Try to make that a little more fuller. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this eraser anyway, just because it's smaller. I ended up erasing some of the head, and that's fine. I got an eraser here. So yeah, definitely I could see how these guidelines make things easier. Kind of just along those lines. Neck muscles, collarbone, and we could even, I know sometimes people draw the neck right underneath the chin. Again, body types. We can also kind of lap that there. It looks like it pulls around here or something. Yeah, I don't know. Something along those lines. Yeah, it looks a little messy. But, all in all, guess that's... I'll draw a better drawing next time. An actual full flesh one.